See, the thing is, there are people in this world of ours who love things the way they are. Not only love it the way they are, they're happy, they're content, they think they're just enjoying life the way it is. But see, me on the other hand, I want to watch this world right away. Not only just right away, but just right away in decay. I'm personally on a personal mission to see forth that this world slowly and slowly becomes like me. Just a living dead person. In the fact that we could just rot together. All I personally need is for you to join me. Just join the army of rot, and we can see forth to lay waste to this pretty world of ours. So, are you willing to join the army of the rot? Or are you willing to suffer at the hands of pure hatred? May you all rot in peace.
I called out to the darkness for powers untold, and she heard me. But she sought to trick me, to make me her slave. But my resolve transcends all mortal understanding. I subdued the dark and made her my slave. So now I am fear. I am suffering. I am your nightmares. I am Dralo, the Night Father.
Hello. The year was 1351. I was a humble doctor traveling to Africa, helping the sick, fighting the plague. Until one day, my partner, Nostradamus, the other famous good plague doctor of the time, betrayed me to the people. There was rumors of the plague coming from Africa, which I was from. Baseless accusations. I was a good man helping everybody. A real good man. Till they decided to throw me to the wolves and executed me by death with 1,000 cuts. They threw my body with the plague corpses to be burnt, and I crawled out as a survivor does. But I did not survive, you see. I ended up on the banks of a river, and I prayed to the old Egyptian gods, and two answered my call. The dark god of death Anubis, and my master Sobek, god of the crocodiles and the wetlands and marshes. I begged for my life, and Sobek offered me a deal. If I serve him and bring him souls, immortality and vengeance would be mine. Anubis spoke after, said he was there to bind the contract between the two. I accepted, and Sobek had me drained of my essence by 1,000,000 leeches. And so now I've returned to get my revenge as a good doctor should. I will have all of this in. For the only solution is the bloodletting with the leeches. See you soon.
With that being said, welcome everybody to another episode of Ninja Banters with who? The Less Than Stealthy Ninjas. I, of course, the king of rot, Abadon, aka Scooter Ray. To my immediate right, the plague doctor himself, Corvo Blud, aka Cosmic Boss.
What up, what up, what up?
The undead bride that is under me, Angela Franklin, aka Erana Myst, and the Night Father, Dralo, aka NEONXERXES. And
Thy
as you can
soul,
see, guys, we are. Go ahead.
thy souls are mine.
Okay, that mask though. But as you see, we are here with another Ninja Banter, and this one is the horror themed episode, as you can clearly see from all four of us pointing every direction. You know, how is your voice handling that, by the way,
It's
Doctor?
quite fine. It's quite fine. It's good to see the mistress of the night demons here with us this evening. I have heard tales of your butchery.
Okay, and she still has not said a word yet, and that is freaking me out. But hey, we have questions. We have five specific questions tonight. Um, we have overrated horror movie villain. Who was the scariest movie villain to you as a kid? What's the scariest movie you've ever seen? What horror movie killer you want or want it to be? And then your top five horror movies of all time. The first question I'm gonna kick off with: what horror movie killer you want it to be? personally speaking, I always had affinity for Jason Voorhees. You know, just a hockey mask, big ass dude, machete, beat you in a sleeping bag, all of that. So Jason Voorhees, and then in Jason X, he became all like half metallic and shit. So I mean, he killed like a whole colony. So I would say the horror movie killer I would want it to be would have been Jason Voorhees. Uh, Dralo, who do you have?
So I didn't have any one particular that I wanted to be. It was more of an archetype. I wanted to be a vampire. Reason being, I just thought that they were cool. Not cool as in like oh man, that's real cool, rad. It was just the way that they carried themselves. It was the swagger they had, and also the strength. They weren't just they weren't just creatures, for lack of better terms. They don't creature out until you piss them off, aka Jerry Dandridge when he got a pencil in his hand. But I just like the swagger that they have is what I like.
Okay. Um, Also, the Night Father. Hopefully, your mask doesn't cause a seizure warning with the blinking. So be on the
Good
lookout
point.
for that. uh, the Good Doctor.
No, Agnes, I will see to the patients if they have the seizure.
Okay, no, 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 no. Because if they have the seizures, they belong to me. I need to convert them to the rot to build my army. I need my army of rot, doctor. You can stick to disease patients. How about that? To the disease. Let me have the others. Okay, doctor. So tell me, good doctor, who did you want to be? Well, what killer did you want to be as a kid or even now?
From my time, I was a fan of the stealth butchers myself.
Okay.
Two in particular were Lord Dracula of Transylvania, a marvelous man, made blood soup out of his victims, turned all those against him into lawn decorations. It was a beautiful sight. 10,000 more along the roads. The other was a being from beyond the stars, the predator of the Yautja. He could turn invisible in the blink of the eye, danced among the trees like a ghost in the wind. You never saw him coming until your spine was in his hands. Big fan of the old butchers.
Uh, good doctor. I just got one question for you. Uh, how many people have you taken out of this world already?
There's quite many. From those who lost their way, who just stumbled upon me in the night, to those who lay sick, to those who weren't sick. Their souls are bind And therefore my master Sobex, millions, they belong to the leeches,
Okay.
and that is where they shall stay.
Okay. Shouts out to Mrs. Ladybug checking in with the horror squad as she calls us. So, Angela, who is still has not even blinked, I don't think, for the last 16 minutes. What killer did you want or want it to be in the horror movie genre?
If I couldn't be myself, I couldn't be a demon, then I would want to be a hell priestess.
All right, short and sweet. Just how okay. That is all right. You ain't gonna get too much from Angela down there. Okay. All right. I mean, just seriously, I think she's only blinked like twice. Like, it's kind of scary. All right, the next kill. Oh, next killer. The next question: what is the scariest horror movie you've seen? Once again, I'm going to personally say Hannibal. Hannibal, for some crazy reason, Chocolate Lily says she has chills, and I'm gonna say so myself. Like, but yes, I would say Hannibal scared me the most uh throughout all the movies I've seen. I don't know why, but Hannibal. But the problem is with Hannibal, he was too busy trying to devour people rather than devouring souls. You gotta let the people decay and rot if you really want them to, you know, suffer. But who do I know? Hannibal. All right, good old Dark Father. I mean, sorry, excuse me. Don't kill me. The Night Father. Who do you have as your scariest movie, or what do you have as your scariest movie you've seen?
I will say, my dear Emily Rose, there's something disturbing about messing with forces beyond our understanding. There are some things that should not be dealt with. Chocolate Lily, come join me in darkness. It's lovely here.
All right, the good doctor.
The scariest movie I ever saw. I saw with my good friend Jacques the Ripper. That movie was Alien, and even more so its sequel, Aliens. Both of these films were very scary to me as a young one. For see, I am forever young. I am only 23. The scariest thing about these films, you had no defense against the creatures. Xenomorphs, I believe they were called. Little face hugged the children that swamped in the eggs. All you could do was run, and you had nowhere to run in space. All you could do was hide and survive. The sequel, while both dealt with great atmosphere, you felt this was real, what real space travel would be like. But the sequel, with the little motion detector gadgets and its rhythmic beep, 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 what a spark in my dark soul. Those are the scariest films I have ever seen.
Mrs. Ladybug, the one thing about those movies is that with the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise as a whole, perfect opportunities to recruit people in the army of the Rock. You know, playing off of fear with Freddy, them not going to sleep. The more and more they would have tried to stay awake, the more and more their minds would have been decaying and rotting from the inside. And mine, Angela, what is the scariest movie you seen?
There is no one scarier than me. You can come to my house and party with your friends. I will possess you one by one by one. And then we will dance in the moonlight and wait for more to come.
All right, that is once again perfect
He
soul.
has angered me. Frederick is an amateur.
There you have it, Freddy Krueger, amateur. Do better. Do better. Now, the scariest killer to you as a kid, I have a very unconventional answer because not too many of these villains scared me as a kid like that. Because Hannibal was more of a teenager when it came out. So I would personally say the scariest villain to me as a kid was the Undertaker. Yes, I'm talking about WWF's The Undertaker. He had me scared of a color as a kid. That's probably when I realized that, being undead wasn't so bad. As you can see, I have a little homage to him on my face with purple. So, being undead wasn't so bad. I'm just willing to take it a step further because I don't want to collect your souls. I don't. I just want your I just want you in your rotting corpse, rotted mind. I just want you. The Dark Father can take your soul, or even the Good Doctor can take your soul. I just need the rot. That's all I need. That's all I needed. So yes, the Undertaker was once the scariest thing to me. I'll go with that. The Night Father. Who do you have?
There was a certain monster, full of anger, full of rage, in my mortal life as a child. A creature known as Rawhead Rex terrified me. So much rage, anger, bloodlust. So perfect for my army of the lost.
Doctor?
There were many scary butchers when you are a child. The one that struck the most fear to me, being that I am a being of the land and marshes, was Lord Bruce of the ocean from the film Jaws. As a young boy, I loved to swim, be it in the pools, the rivers, the ocean. After that movie, I thought there were sharks in every body of water I could not see through. It didn't matter how deep. Sharks, due to Lord Bruce of the ocean, made me scared to swim again.
Did you eventually get over that fear?
For now, we are on equal planes. We are just two butchers passing in the night with mutual respect of each other's craft. He likes them young tender. I like them healthy.
You know, the issue with Bozo, he wasn't harvesting the children. He could have had a great little army, but no, he wanted to entertain. He didn't rot the mind because the body would have followed. And Bozo could have had a little army with him, but no, he wanted to be entertaining. Oh, oh. Uh, Angela, the scariest.
There is only one that struck fear in my mortal heart, and that one is Pennywise. He's nor demon, nor ghoul, nor ghost, just evil.
See, Pennywise had the right idea. He just didn't have to take chunks out the people. And if he was going to take chunks out the people, you leave them alive, so that way, once again, they could rot, they can decay, army. But hey, what do I know? While we're on killers, let's go on the opposite spectrum and let's talk about who we think was overrated or low key or high key trash. And if you heard me talk before about these horror movie killers, there's one who just bottom of the barrel for me. Just he had no style, no grace. He so called had a cult, but that fucking good guy doll. or whatever the fuck the doll's name was, Charles Lee Ray, whatever his dumb Chucky, and they even have the nerves to make a TV show. A TV show? Really? He's not doing nothing special. But yeah, Chucky, so overrated, trash, bottom of the barrel. There's no way a doll could just truly strike fear in people's hearts, but whatever. Dralo, who you got as your overrated killer, good sir?
The undead. They are nothing without me. Mindless hunks of putridness. Nothing terrifying about them. The terror is mine. I am terror. The dead are nothing more than my puppets.
I mean, but you can send the dead to me. I can do something. I can get them right. Dr. Blood,
The most overrated butcher is none other than Jack Torrance. He was nothing but a scribbler of children's books who let a measly building upset him. No torments, no evil, just an upset father who was sick and tired of his family. No dramatics, no creativity, just uninspired. And that is why the building took him in the end. So weak and pathetic.
I agree. I totally agree. Angela,
The biggest waste of time is depending on the luck to spare you. There is no hope. Therefore, Leprechaun is the biggest joke. No one can save.
yeah, he was big trash too. I'm not gonna lie.
The
Stupid
little
pot of gold.
people are rarely scary.
I mean, under the right circumstances, they could be though.
Perhaps a little Dracula would be terrifying. I believe he would suck the blood from your ankles.
I can see that.
The only solution is the bloodletting. The leeches love the tender ankle mitts.
All right. Now let's get into top five horror movies of all time. Um, we're not going to. I'm not not personally going to put it in a particular order. I'm gonna just round off five. Uh, as a kid, a young rotling, earnest, scared, stupid. Uh, and idle hands. That was a great one too because the power of his hand. See, that's the power of the rot and the power of decay that I harness. And if you could make a hand do that much damage, just imagine if I convert the whole body unstoppable. Now, if I was to do now my movies, the Friday the 13th series as a whole, uh, another movie that the bodies wasn't being harvested enough because they was being torn apart so viciously and violently, and that was the thing. And I don't necessarily want people to hmm, be doppelgangers or anything. I want them to be themselves, just rotted. So the thing, 13 Ghosts, love that movie. Saw, the original, but I like the franchise, but the original Saw. I mean, what better way to entrap people and you can slowly rot their minds to where they'll be willing to do anything you say because they don't want the torture anymore or they don't want the illusion of torture. And I would say my favorite horror movie personally would be The Frighteners. Because once again, to have a person who you could corrupt in mind, even in death, to still do your bidding, bravo. Then, of course, Michael J. Fox, of course. But Frighteners will definitely be my favorite horror movie of all time. The Dark Father, what do you have for us as your five horror movies of all time?
A little known gem called Death by Temptation, where a lovely succubus claims the souls of some wretched mortal men. She did not waste good suffering. The Exorcism of Emily Rose. There's something disconcerting when people are taken over by hellish forces, especially when there's a certain aspect of realism to it, where you know these things do happen. Annabelle, what do I need to say? Once again, forces from beyond. The Conjuring, evil from beyond the grave. You think something's going to happen, and it doesn't. Just the unknown terrifies you. The anticipation terrifies you. And last, the autopsy of Jane Doe. This was no waste of flesh. This was no waste of a lovely mortal body. It was outright genius to place a curse in this girl's flesh. that torments anyone who comes near. The Night Father has spoken.
Solid choices. The good doctor.
I have seen many horror movies in my time.
Wait.
I
I want to
love
take
a
a. I want. I want to.
good.
I want to take a guess. You said you're forever 23. I'm saying at least 1,000.
Very close, very close. You're nearly on the money, as they say, King of Rot, Abadon. You and I may work together in the future.
I'm available on all social
Of
media
those
platforms.
many movies I have seen, I, as you do, love the thing, possibly the greatest remake in cinema history. A being that transforms itself into those it attacks and hides until it gets its next victim. You, I, even your friend or the dog could be the thing, and you would never know. Another is the cabin in the woods. It's so wonderful. They gathered so many representatives of the butcher community that they must make sacrifices every year to keep the old gods from taking over. Another one, and perhaps the oldest of my top five, is the king of the monsters himself, Gojira from 1954. He was a young hatchling when I met him, a product of nuclear proliferation and human hubris. Eventually turned into its savior, but he started as a butcher and he did great work. Another of my five is possibly the greatest undead movie I have ever seen, and that is Train to Busan. The zombies of this production was the next level. They produced such sickness so quickly, it was a beautiful sight to see. And lastly, of my top five, is perhaps the funniest undead film I've ever seen in my life. And that is From a Very Good Soul I Let Live, Shaun of the Dead. I took his friend dead, but I let Shaun go. They were good boys, but Ed had to go. It is just so delightful a film seeing regular people being thrust into horrific circumstances while maintaining sanity. These are my top five, but
Wait,
I
wait,
do have a few
oh,
runner ups that didn't make the cut.
wait. Hold on, doctor. Let me ask you a quick question. You actually laugh?
Yes,
Hmm.
I laugh sometimes when Nikki's. My few runner ups is the movie Saw. What a twist! Jigsaw does good work. Another butcher with great work and creativity is the Michael Myers of Haddonfield, Mr. Halloween himself. Another great butcher is the Lord of the Starry Skies, Pennywise. Both iterations are equally delightful. Another is the 90s classic Jurassic Park. While many don't consider it a horror movie, I ask that you look at the circumstances and imagine something, anything, more isolated and horrific than being hunted by starving dinosaurs. Second to last runner up is the British classic Attack the Block. Furry monsters from beyond the stars accidentally crash in England and are accosted by hoodlums who I will be paying a visit to very soon. And
Can I join
last,
you?
oh, the runner,
Can I join you?
absolutely, yes. And the last runner up is a plucky hero I actually enjoy. He is a treasure. I will not pay him any visits. And that is Ashley Williams of the Evil Dead 2. And those would be my best horror movies and their runner ups.
Angela, do you even watch movies?
No. However, the breath of the living whispers to me. And the top five films they whisper to me are, of course, Night of the Demons, featuring me, Halloween, the original, The Thing, of course, Evil Dead 1, and last but definitely not least, Nightmare on Elm Street.
Well, there you have it. You got to know the four of us: the King of Rot, Abadon; Dralo, the Night Father; Doctor Corvo Blud; and Angela Franklin. Now, before we go, we're gonna do something else a little special. We're gonna give each of us a little time to talk to you, let you know where you could find us if you really want to find us, because you have four different entities here. you could pick your poison of what you want to do. So, with that being said, I'm gonna let Dralo, the Night Father, talk to y'all first.
I incarnate in the flesh periodically. And in my fleshly state, you may find me on the things that the mortals call Instagram at NEONXERXES underscore LTSN. Do come and see me, because the Night Father is always looking for more unwilling souls.
I'm gonna pass the. I'm gonna let the good doctor speak to y'all.
Hello, you may request my services on, as the Dark Father said, the Instagram, as the children call it these days, at cosmic underscore nerd life. It is an alias I go by. If you know someone or in need of my services, please do not hesitate. For the bloodletting and the leeches will cure all your ailments. Are you over the age of 30? I know your back and knees harm you every day. I can cure that permanently.
Hello,
Hello?
how are you? As you got a chance to know each and every one of us, as you can see, I'm just a simple king. I just want the right to take over. That's all. And if you feel like how I feel, and you want to join this army of mine, and we could take over the world together, you could join me at the Scooter Ray on Instagram, TikTok, Twitch. Let's ride together. Cause see, the problem is some people want the world to burn. I just want the world to rot. Join me.
Hello. On Halloween, October 31st, you can find me at Full House, dancing in the moonlight. But if you want to reach me anywhere else, you'll have to wait for the less than stealthy ninjas to summon me. I will join them on all social platforms for one night until I'm summoned again. But until then,
Thank you all for joining. And as a special farewell to you all, see you in your nightmares.
The Night Father is everywhere.
See you soon.
I will be watching.